What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, hate. Okay, so I really wasn't going to do a video about this, but after I sat there and read the article, man, and listen, y'all, this is crazy. But let's just get this out here. So we know that Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Miller is set to fight. And one of the things I noticed about Andy Ruiz is he's constantly talking about other fighters fighting with AJ or rematch with Parker. He wants Wilder. Andy Ruiz is all over the place, and he sounds like a desperate fighter. He really truly does, and he hasn't learned, from other fighters' bad mistakes. From their bad judgment, where you're talking about fighting all these other guys, you don't sound locked into the guy that you're supposed to be fighting. So either you underestimate Jarrell Miller, you really feel like he's pretty much like it's a walk in the park, or you want people to just feel like I don't know. Maybe he wants to just feel like, it's no big deal or whatever. Who cares? Personally, it's just a fight between two big fat guys to me. I wanted to see, look, as far as Andy Ruiz getting back in the mix of things, Andy Ruiz is already, he was a champion at one point. He, got a little fame and it went to his head, and every time you saw him, he went from Mr. Humble, soft-spoken Ruiz to photo shoot Ruiz. I bought my mom a house Ruiz. I got all this money Ruiz. Candy bar eating Ruiz, everything other than just really focusing on the sport and staying dedicated. It seems to me like once he got that money, he just became complacent, and I just feel like, I don't know, it's like he didn't evolve and become even better. He basically, he doesn't fight often. I don't know if he's injured all the time, like whatever, but he takes too long of breaks out of the ring. And basically, for him to call out all these different guys, it was just saying he want to fight this guy, that guy. Where's the focus on Miller? Miller was in a position of fighting AJ. He failed his drug test. We know how that went. And basically, this was a chance for Miller to show, okay, I belong here or I don't. Whatever. But Miller's never proven anything. He's never become champion. He's never been that guy. He's just, basically just a contender. But what I found really crazy and ridiculous was Andy Ruiz, and actually it's an interview where he's calling out Benavides. And he's talking about, Benavides is very, very talented. If he ever goes to heavyweight, he just hope he gets the opportunity to fight Benavides. And then he's talking about how, he's a strong guy, he's a big guy, and him going to heavyweight. Okay, first of all, let's just be real. Benavides just went to 175 pounds, and his power didn't carry over to 175 pounds. Okay, he made up his mind that he's going back to 168, and he's going to stay there. Okay, his biggest challenge at 168 is going to be having to have fights, being a mandatory for 3 years, and still not getting a fight with Canelo. Like that's going to be his thing, is just to not have to focus on Canelo, but be in the same division with a guy that just won't fight him. Whatever happens from that happens. But Ruiz's situation, this is crazy. And for the people that's talking about that will be a showdown, are you guys crazy or something, man? Look, Benavides is a tall, skinny guy in terms of going to heavyweights. Him being a fat kid all his life and all this shit, and him ballooning up in weight. His power at heavyweight would be shit. It would be complete shit. You're not going to punch harder just because you gain weight. In fact, you're going to be slower. And his punching power at 168, possibly 160, because his thing is, being disciplined to make fight, to make weight, to be in fight shape. A couple of times he already been stripped of the title for not making weight. You guys, I don't know, man. I just hear weird comments. This would be a showdown. Okay, wait. Some of you guys you give mixed signals. It'll be a showdown. Then you got people going, nah, man, he's too small. He need to stay in his weight class. And then I go look at, wait, okay, this person said this. Okay, boom, boom. He said this. He said that. Then some of you same people, you don't seem to think that Crawford is too small for Canelo, but you think that it's okay for, but you think that it's okay for Ruiz, for Benavides to go up and fight against Andy Ruiz. Then you got people that think that Crawford is too small for Canelo, but you think that, the opposite. Like, so wait, some of you think he's too small, but you don't think that Crawford's too small for Canelo. Some of you think that it's no problem, he could go up, but then you guys, you sit there and then you say that Crawford is too small for Canelo. So what is it? He isn't too small, or he isn't, or he is. And we shouldn't base it on somebody else, in the sense that if you're going to sit here and give Ruiz a pass for calling out a fucking light heavyweight, let's be real, man. Let's be real. I'll bet you guys think that Crawford is too small for Benavides. I sure as fuck do. And I said Crawford don't want to fight Benavides or David Morrell. He don't want those guys. He wants the money man, which is Canelo. And if those dudes was the money man, Crawford wouldn't be wanting to go to no damn 168 to fight them, because they're just too big for Crawford. This is what I don't understand about stupidity, man. And I got to say it like this and be raw. Come on, guys. If Andy Ruiz is not too big for fucking Benavides, according to your own logic, then Canelo shouldn't be too big for Crawford. But according to your own logic, once again, if Benavides is too small for Andy Ruiz, then Crawford should be too small for Canelo. Now, realistically, okay, we've seen fighters go up in weight classes and win. We've seen Roy Jones go up and fight against Zhang Ruiz and win. Okay? At the same fucking time, there were other heavyweights that Roy didn't get a chance to fight. He only wanted to fight Mike Tyson. Okay? So we can't just assume what would have happened. We can have our opinions all we want, but see, the reality, what I'm saying, and that is, people thought Roy, and don't get me wrong, Benavides is no Roy Jones, by no stretch of the mind, all right? But at the same fucking time, let's say Roy would have went up and fought Lennox Lewis. I'm just saying, would it have been the same outcome? Okay, so I'm just saying. Why the fuck, though? And mind you, this was Roy going up to heavyweight because he wanted to fight with Tyson. Okay, he wanted the biggest payday he could get. He wasn't going to get it at light heavyweight. He wasn't going to get it by going down in weight. He wasn't going to get it at cruiserweight. So he took that gamble, that chance to go up to fight in the weight class where he's going to be the much smaller guy. But at the same time, let's not be stupid. Roy Jones' power, while it carried over, now it didn't make him like devastating with his power, but he had enough power for Ruiz to respect him. Okay, Zhang Ruiz had no choice. Okay, Andy Ruiz is talking about fighting David Benavides, and in all honesty, man, if David Benavides can't handle 175, why would he go to heavyweight? Make that make sense. Why would he go to heavyweight? So, out of anybody that Andy Ruiz could call out, why you decide to call out a light heavyweight is like, stop it. That's crazy, man. Pretty much, I don't see this fight happening at all. I just don't see it happening at all. I just don't understand what the hell Andy Ruiz, like, what the fuck was, what is going on in Andy Ruiz? What in the sweet fuck is going on in Andy Ruiz's head? Like, I don't understand this shit. Now everybody's, all of the smaller guys tell them going up and down. Now you have a heavyweight calling out a light heavyweight. What opportunity are you talking about? Are you saying that Benavides is a bigger star in boxing than you are? Like, what? You just hope if he goes to heavyweight that he give you the same, to give you the opportunity. Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? I'm just not understanding what the hell is going on in boxing. I just don't get it, man. I mean, if motherfucking what if Canelo called out fucking Shakur Stevenson? Would that be okay? I really don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't. I just don't get it. So, like I said, based on you guys' logic, you guys are flip-flopping. But in all actuality, I'm just saying, this shit makes no sense to me, man. And if Andy Ruiz watched that last fight, especially, even if he didn't, but especially if he watched it, you can see Benavides' punches didn't have the same effect on these much bigger, stronger light heavyweights. So even if he walks around closer to their weight or their weight, in terms of boxing, no, it's not the same effectiveness. So this man is going to go all the way to heavyweight. No, he already made it known he's back down to 168. So you can't, and if you're watching him, that means you understand you see what he's capable of doing. So how do you come to this conclusion to even say that you want to fight this guy? Come on, people, wake up. Like, this isn't entertaining to me, man. I mean, just like, this is some, like, I would feel embarrassed, man. I would really be embarrassed that I'm sitting here calling out a guy. I'm a fucking 255-pound heavyweight, and I'm here calling out a fucking 175-pound guy to fight. It makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense. Bottom line is the fight's not going to happen. It's really not. But I'm saying, I'm trying to understand Andy Ruiz. I'm really trying to understand him. I mean, he's named all these different fighters that he want to fight, and he's not focusing on Jarrell Miller. And if he goes in there and have a lackluster performance, I mean, you notice every time before Andy Ruiz fight, and he's had one of these long layoffs, he always says the same things. You're going to see a much better, I'm faster, I'm sharp, I'm in the best shape of my life. He always says the same shit. He goes in there, he wins, but he barely wins. He pulls off the win. And he always talks about ring rust. So, should he beat Jarrell Miller? What does he do? Does he take another 2 years off? If Jarrell Miller wins, don't know what happens for him. But it's like, when you start calling out guys that's not top level or not in your weight class, or you start calling out guys that basically they are top level, but you haven't earned a shot with them, you have to work your way to get there. Let's say if that was to happen and Benavides came up and he won, what does that do for Andy? Because you beat a light heavyweight. Just saying, yo. Just saying. So for Andy Ruiz, focus on Jarrell Miller. That's what I would say. Focus on Jarrell Miller, man. Handle your business there. You get past Jarrell Miller. It's one fight at a time. But damn, Benavides shouldn't be on that list at all. One of the things I thought about too, when Roy Jones fought against Zhang Ruiz, right? The situation with Zhang Ruiz was this. Everybody was saying this guy's too small. I remember before the fight even happened, the commentators, between other fights, he's just too small. There's no way he beats Andy Ruiz, Zhang Ruiz. And Roy Jones went in there and he got he got the job done. And the thing about Zhang Ruiz is this. If he was to beat Roy Jones, people would have said, come on, man, you're supposed to beat him. Look how big you are then. Just based on his size alone. For him to lose to Roy Jones, okay, either you're going to be said to not be that good and overrated, or Roy is just that good. Because regardless, the much smaller guy went in there and beat a much bigger guy, which the same much bigger guy have knocked out, much bigger actual natural heavyweights. So you understand what I'm saying? This is the type of fight for Zhang Ruiz is to lose-lose. Because if he loses to this little guy, what the fuck you doing losing to little Roy? But if you beat this motherfucker where you were supposed, that's a lose-lose. Definitely for Zhang Ruiz. Doesn't matter what Roy did at the smaller weight classes. And the guy that is not even a natural 175 pounder. He came from 160. But bottom line, that's what you call a lose-lose. So for Andy Ruiz, it's no different, man. If you was to even fight a Benavides, if you beat him, so what? So what? If you lose to him, people then saw you in the ring with AJ. They seen you in there with Joseph Parker, whatever. So it's like, okay, he fought these guys, but damn, I mean, if you want to call out the lowest of the known, call out a Dylan White. Like, come on, man. Like, seriously, you're gonna call out Benavides, and he even called out Deontay Wilder. He also said he wanted to fight Deontay, and he's pushing that, but at the same time, we don't know what Deontay's situation is going to be. He's been quiet, and dealing with whatever he's dealing with, and so we don't even know what that situation is going to be. So my thing is, it's like you're calling out fighters that's calling out a guy that's not even active right now. You call out a guy that's not even in your division, and you're fighting a guy who basically hasn't done anything but pretty much for your return to the ring. Okay, cool. Your comeback fight. Okay, whatever. It's been 2 years. Problem is, with boxing, man, is nothing is consistent in the positive way. And when I hear things like this, I just feel like, God damn, are you like that low, man? You guys know what I'm talking about, man. You got a guy who walked around and everybody's like, yo, he's the man. Yo, he get all the chicks, bro. And all of a sudden now, he's doing nothing but screwing a bunch of crackheads. It's not the same. It's not the same. Just saying. When I saw it, I just kind of laughed like, damn, Andy, man, if you hit rock bottom, like, what the hell is going on, man? Like, are you serious? David Benavides? Nah, man. Would you guys feel impressed if you heard an announcement saying that Inoue and Canelo was fighting? Like, Canelo and Shakur Stevenson, or would you be impressed if you heard that Benavides is going to fight Inoue? Like, come on, man, Inoue's too small. I'm just saying, y'all. And don't think just because Roy Jones did what he did, man. Don't just think just anybody can do that shit. And the bottom line, though, this wasn't a thing of like heavyweights calling out Roy. This was Roy wanting the Mike Tyson fight, and then Mike Tyson was, basically said he was retired. So he wanted to become heavyweight champ of the world. And, Ruiz had a belt at the time, and that's who he fought. But I'm just saying, man, it's one thing. We're not even talking about one weight class. Like, with Crawford, you can't say the one thing about Crawford. When he came up to 147, everybody was questioning, was he a true welterweight? Then, nah, he ain't did nothing here. And he showed, nah, I belong here with you guys. And then, now he's going up to 154. So even though him coming from 140, still going to 154, it's not like he skipped 140 to go up to 154. He did it where, okay, I'm here, when I'm at 140, I became undisputed, my body growing to that weight. Okay, I'm outgrowing 140, let me go up to 147. Okay, so now guess what? Let me go to 154. He's been there at 147 for some time. So now going up to 154, you're going to see if physically, he can handle the weight. Yeah, I mean, if he can, no problem. Then he stay there and do what he has to do. We saw Thomas Hearns come all the way up for 147, all the way to damn cruiserweight. That's what happens when you stick around and your body grows. And especially for tall fighters. But the one thing you got to remember, Thomas Hearns' power did not carry up in them heavier weights like he did at welterweight. The knockouts was not the same. He had power, and then with size, and you can punch. Yeah. It's not like he can't hurt anybody, but what I'm saying, he had a lot of fights with guys that skill for skill. If this was a welterweight fight, he more than likely would have knocked them out, but going up in weight is different. It's just different. So, yeah, man. I just thought this was weird when I saw this. Like, come on, man. What, like, Andy, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, at what point, what is it that a fighter feel like they can't say or just shouldn't say? At what point, like, where's the cutoff? Like, all right, man, and you know what? That's doing too much right there. I'm okay. You know what? I shouldn't even said that. Like, at what point do they really understand there's certain things that should not even come out of their mouths, man? Like, come on, bro. We're talking about a light heavyweight. I mean, we haven't heard anything from Dillian White since his last fight. You know, I wouldn't see a fighter that wants to be champ of the world calling out Derek Chisora. I really don't. And Chisora is fighting against Joe Joyce, who basically is trying to get back on track. You know, after that last lackluster performance, we're going to see, you know, how much of that was ring rust versus just sloppy, deteriorating Joe Joyce. You know? Heavyweights calling out smaller guys is just something that shouldn't happen. To be honest with you, it just really shouldn't. It just really shouldn't. I don't even acknowledge Bridgerweight. They're all heavyweights to me. I don't care nothing about the weight limit being 224. I don't even acknowledge Bridgerweight shit. But at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know, man. The fact that Andy Ruiz even said that is just, really, Andy? Really? Benavides? Anyways, I tell y'all what, I don't know what Wilder's doing. I'm not even including Benavides. What's probably more logical for Andy, if he's up for the challenge, and he said he was at one point, if he gets past Jarrell Miller, for Andy, the more logical thing is he might end up in a fight with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's been sitting out, you know, since his last win, and he hasn't, you know, been in there. I mean, does Andy want to fight Zhang? I don't know. But I'd be looking to try to get, you know, why are you looking for a win against a guy, right, who pretty much is not responding, is not showing any interest in boxing right now, which is Wilder. Wilder's not talking about anything. You don't hear anything about him being in the gym. None of that. You understand what I mean? So looking at the landscape of boxing right now, you beat Jarrell Miller. No, you don't deserve a shot with AJ or Daniel Dubois, whoever wins that fight. The winner, you don't deserve a fight one of them. You don't deserve a fight with Usyk. You know, you don't deserve that right now, man. You've been out of action for 2 fucking years. Okay, so if I'm looking at the situation for what it is, I'm like, shit. Well, Joseph Parker's sitting here doing nothing right now. He doesn't have a fight coming up. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, shit. Zhang just knocked out Wilder. You not calling out the winner. You calling out the loser. What sense did that make? You understand what I'm saying? It's one thing. It's one thing if even for the loss to Joseph Parker and Wilder is back in training, looking to get back in. Okay, we know that you've been trying to get the Wilder fight for the longest. We get that. But you think you have more stock beating Wilder than beating Zhang or Parker? Both of them beat Wilder. So why are you even calling out Wilder? This is what I'm saying. This is not the whole, but he's coming off of a loss mentality. What I'm saying is no. You're trying to call out the guy that lost to two straight losses. So what do you gain out of beating Wilder right now? You know, unless you just see Wilder as a warm-up to get to a Parker or a Zhang or whatever, nobody's going to wait for you. So I'd be trying to get, you know, that's bigger fish to fry, man. So you're not calling out the better fighter. You're calling out the loser. He's not better than Parker. He'd have beat him. He's not better than Zhang or he'd have beat him. You should be trying to get a fight with Zhang or Parker. Not Deontay Wilder, man. I mean, you're already getting the soft touch with Jarrell Miller, to be honest with you. But you haven't been in the ring for 2 years, so okay, we give you that pass for that. We understand that. But should you get past Jarrell Miller, you should be looking to fry bigger fish, man. You talking about Wilder and fucking David Benavides. That's what I'm like, what is wrong with this dude, man? What are you trying to do? We talking about the best wanting to fight the best, and here's a guy clearly calling out a fucking light heavyweight and calling out a guy that just lost 2 back-to-back fucking losses, looked terrible against Parker, look even worse against Zhang, and now all of a sudden you want that guy instead of the winners. Now I'm pretty sure if you ask him, he'll say, "Oh yeah, I want," but no, on your own initiative, you're calling out Deontay Wilder and David Benavides. That sucks, y'all. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. But yeah, he claims he wants Anthony Joshua. So no, you're not gonna skip past those two and get to AJ. You're not gonna skip past those two and get to Usyk. You understand what I mean? No, you're not gonna do that. You only So I don't know, man. This is the way people operate, though. Let's look at who wins. You're doing the same thing Jake Paul did with Rockman and Kenzie Morrison. Kenzie Morrison wins the fight, but who does he do? He calls out Rockman, and then he tries to do a bunch of goofy shit. But hey, listen, man. I don't know, man. This like I said, boxing has fucking become a joke. It really has, and I'm being real and honest about all of this shit, man. Because but that's just what I do. But this is a joke, man. It really is. And this is what I mean about these fans. See, that's why I will never be a fan of anybody. Because I can't be that person sitting back lying to try to get people to hit like and subscribe and all. No, this is bullshit. No Andy Ruiz fan should be sitting there going, yeah, man, hell yeah, fight Benavides. Hell yeah, fight what? For what? For what? I mean, the Benavides fight is not going to happen, first of all. And the Wilder fight probably more likely isn't going to happen because Wilder, whatever space he's in mentally and whatever he's dealing with, he's not even been talking about anything. And last thing we heard about Wilder was Malik Scott saying, hey, you got to remember, Wilder's 38, not 28, or 39, not 29, or one of them numbers. But at the end of the day, and we know that his birthday is in October, right? So, okay, so he'll be 39 in October? Okay. And this is what I'm saying, man. Like, why would you, come on. Okay, Zhang, Parker fought Wilder. Okay, he shut him out in 12 rounds. I want to fight Wilder. Okay, Zhang just knocked Wilder out in the 4 rounds. Okay, I want to fight Wilder. And then yet you keep calling out AJ's name. Come on, bro. Same shortcut type of shit that Jarrell Miller was trying to do. Remember that? He's talking about he wanted to fight Manuel Charr. Remember, I want to fight a Brit. I want to fight Dillian White and Derek Chisora and Manuel Charr. I want to take Manuel Charr's belt. Yet somehow he's calling out AJ's name. Like if he was to beat any one of those other guys he named, that warrants a fight with AJ. Come on, bro. Once again, boxing has become a joke. Tell me what y'all think about Andy Ruiz and his call out of Benavides and then wanting to fight Wilder instead of the winner of Wilder's last 2 opponents. Never fall in love with lies. Remember the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.